Let's go, Eagles. I don't know about you, but I'm counting down the hours until the season starts. I know there are still a few months to go, but my green and white heart is already beating with excitement. Our team is well put together and ready to soar high. Today, I need to talk about some important topics that have been stirring things up behind the scenes at the Eagles, and man, a lot of things are about to happen from now on. I'll tell you everything I've heard, but before we get into all the details, make sure you've already hit that like button. But only do it if you've been an Eagles fan for over 19 years. It's so great to see fans of all ages. There are people here who were at the games back in the 70s. That's incredible. Maximum respect to all of you. If possible, drop a comment like this: "Go Birds! My heart bleeds green and white. Let's fly higher." Now, I want to start with this piece of news. The biggest headline in the NFL and certainly within the Eagles community is that Saquon Barkley has officially been named the cover athlete from Madden 26. The speculation around this was intense over the past few weeks, and now it's a reality. Barkley, coming off an absolutely historic season, is now not only etched in Eagles history but also gaming history. He broke the NFL record for the most rushing yards in a single season, combining regular season and playoff performances. This achievement also secured him the Offensive Player of the Year award and a top 5 finish in MVP voting. And who could forget that iconic play, the legendary hurdle over the Jacksonville Jaguars defender, an image now immortalized as the cover art of Madden 26. For those of you wondering about the infamous Madden curse, it's real, but it's complicated. Since Madden 18, we've seen a trend of non-curses until last year when Christian McCaffrey fell victim, playing only 4 games due to bilateral Achilles tendinitis before injuring his knee. But let's be clear, EA Sports made an easy call here. Barkley is not just a marketable athlete, he's a superstar. His debut game with the Eagles against the Packers in Brazil? A hat-trick performance with 3 touchdowns, despite slipping on his very first carry. From there, it was nothing but highlight after highlight, leading the league in carries, rushing yards, and breaking franchise records along the way. He ran for over 2,000 yards on 345 carries, averaged 125.3 yards per game, and scored 15 total touchdowns. And then came the playoffs. Barkley carried the Eagles through each round. Against the Packers in the wild card, he racked up 119 yards on 25 carries. Then in the divisional round versus the Rams, he exploded for 205 yards and 5 touchdowns. The NFC Championship game? Barkley took the first play from scrimmage to the house with a 60-yard touchdown and finished with 118 yards. Even though his Super Bowl stats were modest due to the Chiefs' defense stacking the box, his presence forced Kansas City to focus heavily on the run, which opened up the passing lanes for Jalen Hurts to ultimately lead the Eagles to a commanding victory over the Chiefs. That's the Saquon Barkley effect, a player whose influence goes beyond the stat sheet. This marks the 3rd time an Eagles player has graced a video game cover. Donovan McNabb was on Madden 06, though that season was marred by injuries, one of the infamous curses. Then there was Terrell Owens on the cover of ESPN 2K5, who had an outstanding season despite suffering a broken ankle from a horse collar tackle by Roy Williams, an injury he battled back from to perform heroically in the Super Bowl. Now Barkley adds his name to this elite company. Not only that, he becomes the first defensive player in Eagles franchise history to enter the Madden 99 club, a testament to his historic campaign. Shifting from cover art to roster moves, General Manager Howie Roseman made a significant decision by trading Bryce Huff to the San Francisco 49ers. This trade is a win on multiple levels. The Eagles get a mid-round pick, save $2.4 million in 2025 cap space due to post-June 1 designations, and open up nearly $8 million in cash. Huff, who didn't quite fit Vic Fangio's defensive scheme and was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl, now gets a fresh start. Fangio never fully trusted Huff, so rather than keeping an unhappy player, the Eagles wisely moved on. Huff was one of the top pass rushing specialists under Robert Saleh with the Jets and now reunites with him in San Francisco, where he should thrive in their system. Admitting mistakes is crucial in the NFL, and Roseman's handling of this, despite Huff being one of his rare free agency misfires, shows why he's one of the best in the business. While Huff wasn't a fit in Philly, he excelled elsewhere, ranking 33rd out of 197 edge rushers with a Pro Football Focus grade of 79.7 and posting an elite pass rush grade of 86.8. With 10 sacks and 67 pressures while playing less than half the snaps, Huff's talents will be better utilized by the 49ers. The departure of Huff also signals confidence in the young pass rushers already on the Eagles roster. Nolan Smith and Jay Hunt are now projected as the starting edge rushers. Nolan Smith made a substantial leap from his rookie to sophomore season, increasing his sack total from 1 to 6.5, then dominating the postseason with 4 playoff sacks. The front office's faith in him and Hunt is evident. This is their time to shine. Moving to the defensive line, rookie Ty Robinson has been turning heads. Coming out of Nebraska as a 6-year college player, he's made an immediate impact in OTAs. His size, athleticism, and versatility make him a valuable addition, especially with the departures of Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. Running a 4.83 40-yard dash at 6 feet 5 inches, 288 pounds is no small feat. Last season at Nebraska, Robinson logged 37 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks. His elite pressure rate and ability to play multiple techniques give Vic Fangio a flexible weapon on the defensive front. Another massive storyline coming out of OTAs is the continued emergence of cornerback Cooper DeJean. He's rapidly becoming one of the most popular players on the team and continues to impress with his leadership and versatility. With Darius Slay, Josh Sweat, and Milton Williams gone, DeJean's role is set to expand significantly. Last season, he was already a force. PFF graded him 4th out of 222 cornerbacks with an overall mark of 82.7. His run defense grade ranked 2nd in the entire league, and he capped off his rookie campaign with one of the most iconic plays in Eagles history, baiting Patrick Mahomes into a pick-6 in the Super Bowl. That play will be remembered forever by Eagles fans. Let's not forget Jalen Hurts. Fresh off a Super Bowl MVP performance, Hurts has been sharp and decisive in OTAs under new offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. With hopes for a more consistent and balanced offense in 2025, Hurts' development as a passer will be key to sustaining the Eagles' status as one of the NFL's elite offenses. And how about Barkley's current form? Despite an enormous workload last season and being 28 years old, an age where many running backs begin to decline, Barkley has looked exceptional in OTAs. His performance in one-on-one drills against top-tier competition like Quinyon Mitchell has been impressive, and coaches have noted he appears to already be in mid-season form. The Eagles' path back to the Super Bowl will depend on these critical players, the cohesion of the team, and the leadership of Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman in shaping this roster for sustained success. With all these moving parts, there's plenty for fans to be excited about. Now I want to hear from all of you. What do you think about Saquon Barkley landing on the cover of Madden 26 and the Eagles' offseason moves so far? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, and let me know. Are the Eagles on track to make it back to the Super Bowl? Should I continue with part 2 of this breakdown? Let me know. The Eagles' offseason moves don't just stop with the headline-grabbing Madden cover or the trade of Bryce Huff. There's a much deeper narrative unfolding across this roster, as a new wave of young talent begins to take shape while veteran leaders make way for the next generation. One of the most intriguing developments in OTAs has been the competition brewing at the cornerback position. With Darius Slay now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, many assumed that Kelee Ringo would be the clear favorite to step in as the starting outside corner. After all, the Eagles moved up to draft him. He's got prototypical size at over 6 feet and 200 pounds, blazing 4.4 speed, and undeniable physical tools. But here's the twist. Ringo hasn't been handed anything. Instead, the Eagles are fostering a competitive environment. Adoree Jackson, a seasoned vet and former first-round pick with a solid track record, is pushing for that same starting spot. Jackson's been getting first-team reps alongside Kelee Ringo,